go ahead now to create the table. So to create our table, all you just need to do is just to let's put our table inside. Let's just say inside it should still be inside the container. Then let's say table. Let me just say div so that you see something I want to show. Let me just say table, just save, now come and open. You can see table. Alright, so I can just put the table in a div. So div is like the wrapper of the table. So let me just give it some class. Let me add the margin to the top of 4 so that it will be a bit far from the element that we have on top. Then I want to have a border, and also I want the border to be rounded. Then I also want the overflow. This is to make it to be responsive so that when I'm on mobile, I'll be able to scroll it and see the other elements. Otherwise, I will not be able to do that and it will not be responsive. So in order to ensure that it's responsive, that's why we are having that overflow. And all these classes, they are coming from our styling library that we are using, which is the Bootstrap. Now it's time for us to create our table like we always do. Let's just go to React Bootstrap documentation, then look for table. Any elements you are looking for is just there for you to check it out. So and just check. You can see different ones, but I think I like this one that has over, and that's what we have. I will just copy it. See, the same pattern is what we have been using since, so I'll just put it in there. So I think this might not be needed. Let's just leave only the margin top, and if you need it, why not? We are going to update it. So we have the stripe, we have the bordered, we have the hover. So when we put our mouse, over means that when we put our mouse on it, it should like give us some sign. So we have the hover, and also to ensure that it is, so let's come and import it, the component table. Let's import our component table, and also to be sure, to ensure that it is responsive. That means it is displaying well on mobile. Then you should add the parameter responsive. So I can remove this small. So all I can just do is, if I want to put it at the center, so I can just do text center to ensure that we have it at the center. Now you can see, if you save, let's just save and see what we have at the moment. You can see this is over. You can see that we even have the one that span two columns. So just that, now we have the table. It's just, and if you want to check if it is responsive, you can see it's very responsive. And if you have several columns and it cannot be displayed on this small screen, all just do is just to drag it and you will see the other element. Now that we have been able to have the table, all you just need to do is just to update it to what we want in our application. And if you want to have the idea of what you want, just come back to your wireframe, and that's why I can see the wireframe is very important so that it will guide your development. You know what you need. You are not just brainstorming, because it can be very tedious, you brainstorming and at the same time trying to figure out the code, but you know what it looks like. All you are just doing is just to be doing back and forth. When you need assistance, you go to the documentation. All the components are there for you to just be able to copy and to paste. Now that we have been able to do that, so I'll just come in here. Then you can see I have my serial number, sender, receiver, pickup time, distance, price, delivery time, paid, status. So let's just do that now. So we have our table header, then we have our table row, and we also have our table head. So this is table data. So each row of a table is table. The header, like that means the heading of the table, is the table head, T head, and each table head have a table row. So one row, another row. So each column or each cell is now what we have as a table head. And once you now leave the table head, you come to the body. Then you also have the same thing. Each row, another row, another row, another row. So now let's now set up our, let's call this our serial number. Of course, you can even use hash like we use. So let's also now, the next one is sender. So just to tell you that you can also see one or two things to change, just that you should not be brainstorming at that point. You should be working on the development. So you have the receiver, the next column, I'm working with the wireframe now, pickup time, then you can duplicate this line with Alt Shift down arrow, then you have the distance, then you also have the price, then you have the delivery time, then you have the page, then you have the status, all coming from our wireframe. So the same thing should apply to this. So if we have this number of column, you should also have it here in the body. So, but all I just need to do is just to change it to D. So instead of table head, I want it to be table data. You can see once I change the opening tag, it's changed the closing tag for me automatically. Then I have this. Another thing I can do is just to highlight it and do Ctrl D, Ctrl D, Ctrl D, Ctrl D, Ctrl D T. All I want to change has been highlighted, then I'll just do CD. Then I'll do tab, then I'll escape. I see it change everything for me all at once. So I can just now start changing. Maybe I can do this one as 1. I can put the sender to be OX 4. So just to put something, you can also do the same thing for the receiver. This all this value will be coming from our database or from the blockchain by the time we get to that point. The pickup time, let me just see what we have here, just to use a sample. 0304 2025, and also the distance, let's say that is 23 kilometer. The price, we're charging in Ether, let's just do 23 ETH, and also the delivery time, let's just do this. Let's just change it to 4. The paid, let's see what we have there. Let's just say not completed, not make the payment, and then the status is pending. So because you see how each of these changes as we go along the line. And let's just close this and just use that as an example. Of course, this will be dynamically generated from our database, but for now, just to see how it works, let me just do another one. Then I close it. So I save. So I have that now. Can check, can see. Getting closer to what we have. Yeah. So having done that, let us just go ahead to create our footer. Once we create our footer, then we can then go ahead to create the model for this, model for this. Let's also say model for this. Then we go to our backend, which is our blockchain implementation. Of course, these are still samples, but just that the delivery time, if it's pending, should be not available. So let's just do that minor updates, because we still does not change anything. We can leave it. Let's just change it for 1. Not available. Not available. So I'll save it. So we have it here now.